In this video, we'll be looking at this Lockzo 3-in-1 video smart lock. They did send this in before review, but as always, it does not affect our opinion in any way. This is just the box that it comes in, of course. It looks like we have the specific model down here. It's the Lockzo Video Smart Lock AL501, but we'll just go ahead and get into the box here. Looks like the first thing we have here is a user manual. There's kind of a guarantee card, and then some templates for the actual installation, which is super nice to have included. Then we have the accessories in the box here. We'll get into that in a second. This should just be the number pad part of the lock. So the numbers kind of appear around here when it's actually on, of course, but this is just the part that goes outside. We have the doorbell, there's a camera, and then there's a little sensor here as well. This should be the back part that goes inside the house, of course. A couple of different pieces here. So yeah, this is the piece that you should install inside the house. Of course, this kind of goes together like this with the door in between. So we have some plate here with the rubber piece, then the kind of internal electronics, and then this piece here, of course, twists so you can lock it, or there's an open and close button as well, which is cool. We also have another additional piece on here, which we'll find out what it's for. Finally, we have the box of accessories. Some screws and the plate here. This looks like the battery for the lock. USB-C charging cable, the chime to go inside the house, so when you ring the doorbell, this is what will actually play a sound. Looks like the actual sort of deadbolt part here, another plastic part, some keys for it, then a bunch of different screws all kind of labeled in different bags. So that's super nice. It should make the installation pretty easily, having all these different bags with the different screws labeled rather than having to just kind of pick through one big bag. Nice to have all these separate bags labeled. But we'll just go ahead and get to the installation process. So of course the first thing is just removing your door's existing hardware. You might be able to reuse some pieces like some screws and the strike plate and things, but that will just depend on your door. Then you'll go ahead and install the actual lock itself. It was fairly simple. You put the outside part in first and kind of make sure it lines up with the deadbolt and all that. There is some adhesive to help you, which I think was pretty cool as well. Then you go ahead and put the inside part, and then they kind of just screw together as well as screw into the door itself. So definitely wasn't too bad of a setup. Much easier than I was expecting going into it, but part of that will depend on your door and the hardware you're currently using. From here, you just want to install the battery, which you should have charged in advance. Then it will kind of lock automatically to show that it's all working. Then you go ahead and reset the device. It will beep a bunch of times to confirm that it has been reset.
Press the unlock button to confirm.
Then you go ahead and push that internal button once more to begin setting your admin password.
Operation succeeded.
And once you have confirmation that the admin password has been successfully set, you're able to kind of go ahead and program the rest of the features. So the first thing I would do is just set up the mobile app. This was very simple, much easier than I was expecting. It uses this Tuya Smart app that I had already installed from other devices, so it's nice that it's kind of compatible with the same app. Then you just want to make sure you select Video Lock within the app. It will display a QR code that you show to the doorbell's camera, and then it will connect automatically. So it's really as simple as that. The actual physical installation was the hardest part, but even that was much simpler and more straightforward than I was expecting. Once you have the mobile app set up, you can of course use it to unlock and lock the door, but you can also customize a bunch of different things about the lock. You can customize the auto lock time, different settings for notifications and security and all that. You can set temporary passwords. You can add different members to it so you know who unlocked the door when, as well as add their fingerprints and unique passwords. And there is the whole video surveillance part, since it does have a camera built in as well.
So this is just to give you an idea of both the video and the audio quality. As you can see, it's pretty decent. It's under kind of settings, so it would be a little bit better probably when it was a bit brighter, but it's definitely pretty decent. You can still recognize people and all that, and you can hear, you can understand people as well. So you can definitely have a conversation through this thing. It does a good enough job for sure, especially considering it's just a camera built into a door lock.
The quality of night is pretty decent as well, as it has built-in infrared. It does make people look a little bit creepy, but that's just kind of night vision in general. But it definitely does still do a pretty decent job. You're able to make out and recognize people, especially as they get closer to the lock. Another advantage of the app is that it does give you notifications when someone approaches the lock, as well as rings the doorbell. You can also answer the doorbell through the app and engage in a conversation with your visitor. While you're able to use the mobile app to unlock the lock from anywhere, you can also of course use the password or the built-in fingerprint reader. It also supports devices like Alexa, so you're able to unlock it using your voice if someone's at the door. Alexa, unlock the door lock.
Unlocked.
So there's definitely a lot more I could talk about here, especially on the side of the mobile app. There's a bunch of settings you can play around with, and you can add a bunch of different customizations and all that. But I'll keep it kind of simple here and just say that overall it's a very solid door lock that I'm pretty happy with. I do think the image quality could be a tiny bit better, but it's definitely good enough. And I've never seen a door lock that has a built-in camera in general. So the fact that it's kind of a doorbell and camera that gives you notifications as well as a door lock that you can operate from anywhere is definitely a very nice combination to have all built into one package. The setup was relatively straightforward following the included instructions, and getting it connected to the app was even easier as I showed you. So overall it works even better than I would expect. I especially love the fact that you're able to enter in temporary passwords and all that, as well as the built-in fingerprint scanner, which makes it very easy to open and close your door. The mobile app and the built-in camera is just kind of the cherry on top, so I'm definitely very happy with this door lock.